All right, in this video, I'm going to go over how to solve and graph inequalities. So I'm going to start with 9 is less than k. Now, instead of 9 is less than k, sometimes I like to write the k on the left-hand side. If you do this, then see how the inequality symbol is eating the k? It's opening up towards the k. So when you rewrite it, it still needs to be opening up towards the k. So instead of saying 9 is less than k, I usually rewrite it as k is greater than 9. And then to graph it, I put 9 in the middle of a number line. Now, k can be greater than 9. So k could be 11 or 10 or 9.5 or 9.1 or 9.0000001, but it can't be 9. So what you do is you want to start at 9, but you don't want to include 9. So you make an open circle over 9. And then k is greater than 9, so you draw an arrow to all of the numbers that are greater than 9, like 10 or 11. Now, if we had the inequality k is greater than or equal to 9, then we could say, okay, wait, we can make a dot here, but fill it in, because k could be 9 or any number greater. So when there's an equality bar, you can fill it in. But if there's no bar, then you have to leave it open. All right, let's solve a couple problems. So first, I'm going to try to get rid of the parentheses in this inequality by distributing a -1. So a -1 times negative x is a negative times a negative. Positive x, -1 times -6 is a negative times a negative. Positive 6 is less than or equal to 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. X is less than or equal to 0. So I'm going to put 0 in the middle of my number line. Now, x is less than or equal to 0. So it could be equal to 0. So I'm going to fill in that bubble. Or it's any number less than 0, like -1 or -2. So my arrow is going to go to the left. And lastly, -9 is greater than h minus 4h. Now, h minus 4h is the same thing as saying 1h minus 4h. And 1h minus 4h is -3h. So I'm going to rewrite this as -9 is greater than -3h. Then I'm going to divide both sides by a -3. Now, careful, if you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. That happens whenever you divide by a negative or whenever you multiply by a negative. So I'm going to reverse the inequality symbol. And -9 divided by a -3 is a +3. But remember up here when I showed you that sometimes I like to write it with a variable on the left-hand side? It's easier to graph that way. So I'm going to rewrite this with a variable on the left-hand side. And since the inequality symbol is eating the h, or opening up towards the h, I'm going to make the inequality symbol open up towards the h still. So instead of saying 3 is less than h, I can say, well, h is any number greater than 3. So then I'm going to put 3 in the middle of my number line. Now, h can be any number greater than 3, but it can't be 3 because there's no equality bar underneath that inequality sign. So h could be any number greater than 3, like 4 or 5, but not 3 itself. So I have an open bubble over the 3. I hope this was helpful. Please see me if you have any questions.